E aí, galera que tá ligada aqui na Rádio T-Rock Brasil, beleza? Hoje temos aqui com a gente Rupert Keplinger, baixista, guitarrista da banda ANTITYPE e da banda, deixa eu ver se eu falo o nome correto, Eisbrecher,
Yes.
que quer dizer quebra de gelo, ou icebreaker. Rupert, I hope I have pronounced this correctly.
Yes, you're doing very well. So it's ANTITYPE and Eisbrecher. That's really good.
Man, this one, like, in German, it's kind of hard. This ice and bra is very hard. I mean, for me, it's like,
yeah.
forget about it,
But Portuguese for us is also very difficult.
True, it's true. It's a very totally different language. Rupert, I'll like to know a few things, man, because I know that you've been in the music industry for quite so long, right?
Yes. Well, I make music since I'm 13, 14. That's when I started playing guitar. And this was also the time when deep in my mind, I made the decision, all right, I don't want to do anything else than making music. This is the dream that I want to pursue, the dream that I will follow and I want to realize. And well, it worked out. I come from Austria. I come from a little village. There was nothing going on. There's no music industry or anything. It's only a few thousand people. But then I finished school and I moved to Hamburg. And Hamburg has a pretty good music scene. And it took me a few years because I came here, I knew nobody at all. So in the beginning, nothing happened. But after a few years, it worked out pretty well. And I got introduced, or I could find my way into the songwriting scene here. So since many, many years, I write songs for popular German artists. For example, one of the biggest artists in Germany, his name is Peter Maffay. Of course, nobody knows him outside of Germany because it's German lyrics and so on, but I write for him and also for other big artists since 15 years or something like that. And I was lucky. My songs most of the time got placed on records that sold very well. So I could gather at the moment, I think about 10 golden and platinum awards for my writing. And
wow,
that's really cool. So that makes life a little bit easier, let's say it that way. And but besides of the songwriting, my heart is always for the band work, because that's the reason why I started to make music. And so that's why I invest most of my time in work in playing in bands and organizing and managing and yeah, the whole band thing.
I hear you. And man, I didn't know you're from Austria. I thought you're from Germany, because I remember when we met in September, that festival, and we were on the tour bus talking. I didn't catch that part. In my head, okay, he's from Germany, playing the German band and everything. Oh man, interesting.
Yeah, well, I have to say now I sound pretty German too. As you know, there's a heavy Austrian accent. Austrians also talk German, but they have the very own accent, and this only comes back when I'm back at home. Then the accent comes back. But I'm in Germany now since more than 20 years. Yeah,
it's a long time. And Rupert, how was coming from Austria 20 years ago, arrive in Germany, say, hey, I'm from Austria, and guys, I want to play music.
Yeah, well, it was difficult, I have to say, but I found some points where I can start to get to know people, because that's the most important. That's always when you make music, you have to know people, or else you make music for yourself, and that's boring. So I visited a school for rock music and pop music. And this is where I first started connecting with the teachers, with people from the scene. And then those teachers left because they became very successful as musicians, and I become a teacher. Then I left, and somebody else becomes the teacher. And so this helped me a lot, but it took a while, and it was a different time. It was, well, I came to Hamburg 2001. I think this was mainly before the entire social media thing, if I remember correctly, right? 2001, there wasn't much going on.
No.
So it was way more difficult than today to connect with people, and yeah, you couldn't just write to somebody who you see online, because yeah, well, we were going by this time into the internet cafes, if you remember.
Because I remember those days. Just put
I had no
coffee
right. I had no internet access at home because I couldn't afford it. Back in the day, it was pretty expensive, and so it was different. And maybe today it's easier to find new connections and to connect with people and to stay in touch.
Oh yeah, and I mean, I can imagine, like, coming from Austria, from a small village, going to Germany. It's pretty much like someone leaves, I don't know, Idaho, Dakota, whatever, and goes to LA. Because I mean, we both know Germany is huge in the music industry. They have a big market.
Yeah, that's true. And for me, it was a really an extreme new world, because, as you say, coming out of the very, very small village, and then moving to Hamburg, St. Pauli, all the lights, Reeperbahn, 24 clubs, bars that are open 24 hours each day and everything. So it was a totally new world. And also meeting people that say, what are you doing? Yeah, I'm a musician and I do this for a living. I said, wow, that's so cool. I want to do this too. I don't want to work somewhere else or anything. I want to focus completely only on music. And yeah, I had a few years where I had no money at all, and I had to do some small jobs here and there to pay my rent and everything, and my phone bill and what you need. And yeah, it took me a while, but then step by step, yeah.
In the end, it paid off. In the end, there was a big payoff.
Absolutely. I love it how it is. I can't imagine doing anything else. I love to make music, although I work a lot, I have to say, probably much more than a regular worker, because I work 7 days a week and usually from 10 to 10. But I love it. That's my life, and I love to make music and all that comes around with, also the organization, the management, and making ideas, strategies. What can we do with this band? What can we do there? How do we plan the next release? And so it's the entire organization thing. I like that also.
I hear you. And Rupert, I know you have played many gigs, since you moved to Germany, and you've been with big festivals and stuff. Which is the biggest gig you ever played, if you remember? Because I know you did many.
Well, the biggest, that's hard to say, because, well, it's where all the big festivals like Wacken, like Hellfest, like Grass Pop, these were really big. Then one time we played in Netherlands Boss Pop, which is also huge. I didn't expect that. Or Summer Breeze is also big, but it's hard to estimate when you stand there. Are these now 20,000 people or are these 30,000? I can't say which was the biggest crowd, but all of these festivals are great. It's such a cool experience.
And Rupert, like, how was the first time, man? You jump on the stage and you see this big waves of people, and you go like, oh my gosh.
Yeah,
how's the feeling, man?
The feeling is just, it feels right. It feels, when I go on stage every time, well, the first times it was really impressive, and I thought, wow, how cool is that? And it is amazing. It's an amazing feeling. You see the people, you play music, in the best case music that you've written, you play a riff that, you sit at home and you're at a desk in front of your computer, you come up with a riff, and then 1 year later or 2 years later, you go on a festival stage with 20,000 people and you play exactly this riff, and you see people reacting to this and jumping and dancing, and that's really a great feeling. That's awesome, and it's every time great. And now it's when I go on stage, it feels right. It's for me, it's the belonging, or the feeling. You have you have a piece and you place it somewhere. This is the place where this piece belongs to. That's what I feel when I go on stage. I feel this is the place where I'm at the right time, at the right spot, and where I want to be. And so I love to play live. It's really nice.
And as we're talking before the interview, you told me you have like a lot of projects, have a lot of stuff going on. And one of them is your own band, the ANTITYPE.
Yes.
Man, right. I'm curious because I remember we talked on the tour bus about it. But I mean, I remember there was a lot of people around us and everybody pretty much talking, trying to sell themselves and stuff.
Yeah, sure.
I remember it was like on the second deck of the bus, like, But man, I want to hear this thing. I want to know about the band, how the band started.
Yeah, I can tell you. Well, ANTITYPE, the thing is, I always work for many other artists, and most of the time when they are already big artists or established bands, they have their own music style, they have their image, they have their sound and everything, and the stuff that I do or the stuff that I contribute has to fit to their history, let's say it that way, right? And it's nice, but I always want to do my very own thing where I can really do what I want, and I don't have to take care. Does it fit to the band? Does it fit to the artist and everything? So that it's really just my thing from the beginning. And this started, I think, in 2020, when I felt, wow, I really have to start something fresh where I just make the music that I like. And I was looking for a singer, and this is the most difficult part always, but luckily I found Andreas from Berlin, and he was also looking for a serious project because he's a great singer and he is always trying to find good people to work with. And he said, well, most of them are unreliable. I start a new project, nothing happens, and so on. And I said, all right, let's team up. Do we have a similar musical background? That's important. What did we listen to in our youth? And it was from grunge to Rage Against the Machine, Linkin Park, Korn,
nice.
all that stuff from 90s, early 2000s, or on the softer side, something like Incubus. On the heavier side, something like Sepultura, Pantera, of course. Yeah, I mean, those are that's my musical roots. And we connected, and we just started writing. I made some riffs, we met up, we made some vocal lines, some lyrics, and so on, and it worked out really well. And I said, okay, that's the stuff that I really want to do. And then we completed the band. It took a while because I was really looking for a band. So we have 4 people, and we share everything by 4. Everything is divided by 4. And so it's not so easy to find people that are professional musicians who are experienced and who are ready to start something fresh again, because it means you invest time, you invest money, you never know what happens, right? The odds are always against us. Finding a new band, if you go by the statistics, it's more probable that the band will fail. That's just the statistics. I mean, look how many bands are founded each day, and only a few of them come to the point where they can make some money and make a living, and so coming to a point where you can keep working on the band. So we knew the chance is low. Founding a new rock band in 2021 or something. Who needs another new rock band? Nobody, right? There are so many bands out there. Who needs somebody who is now playing all right heavy riffs and stuff? It's all already there. But we said, fuck it, man. We do this for us. We have to do it. We have no choice. That's what we want to do. And I said, yeah, let's fucking do it, and let's do it the best way that we can. Of course, we put everything, all our experience, we put everything in it. Our experience, our passion, our time. We also put a lot of money into it. We founded our own label to get this thing started. And yeah, musically, what we do is we taking our roots, let's say from grunge to Sepultura to Pantera to Bush to from Nirvana, a little bit Rage Against the Machine, a little bit Linkin Park, sometimes a riff that could be a little bit inspired by Limp Bizkit even, or whatever. This everything from our youth, we take our influences and transport it into the new time.
You guys have your own label. How is it creating a label? How hard, how easy it is? Because back in the days, create a label, a record company was something like, wow, back in I'm talking about the 90s and 80s, people need to have a lot of money, a lot of, how it is nowadays, build your own label.
Well, it definitely got easier. So what we did is we took some money, we the 4 people, everybody put the same amount of money. So we had a good starting budget, and then we founded a label. That means it was pretty easy. We founded a company with the 4 of us, and we registered our label. And then of course you need a distribution. And for the distribution, we found Believe. Believe is this worldwide big distribution, one of the biggest companies regarding distribution.
Actually.
And there is one part of Believe is called Blood Blast Distribution. And they're here in Hamburg, and I know the head of Blood Blast Hamburg, and with him we made our agreement that they will take care that our music will be properly distributed on all platforms, and they also do the accounting. So that makes it a lot easier. So we founded ANTITYPE Records mainly because when you start at zero like we did, it's very hard to find a record label that is willing to invest a certain amount of money so you can really work, because mainly they think, wow, the risk is so high with the bands. They have nothing. There are no numbers now. Yeah, right. So they start with zero. Maybe nothing will happen, and yeah, you can find deals for that, but the deals won't be very good. It doesn't make any sense. You give away all your rights and you only get a really small advance. So we said, no, we don't do this. We start on our own. We take our money, we invest it because we believe in what we do. And once we reach a point where we can really negotiate with labels, then we talk again. So this is what we do now.
This is very wise decision.
I hope so.
No, it is because I mean, as you said, like if you knock on labels like Sony Music or Warner and hey, I'm so and so and blah blah blah, as you said, the person behind the company might look, okay, can we make money with these guys or not? I mean, for them, it's a big risk as well, because they don't know. And as you know, as we talked like before, record companies and banks are pretty much the same thing. You put the money in, they offer what they can, but nothing's for free. I mean, a lot of people sometimes they think, oh, I'm going to sign up. I want to be a big rock star. I want to sign up with a label and blah, 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 blah. Okay, they might give you a paper, but as soon as you sign the paper, conditions are very different. It's like a bank. You go to a bank, say, hey, I need money for something. I need to borrow money. Okay, we give you, but hey,
Yeah,
I mean,
you have to read the small prints, but that's a good thing with being in the business for a while. So yeah, I know that it doesn't make any sense to sign a bad deal. You know, you're just hurting your own business.
True.
And yeah, we were in a situation that we could also afford this start. We invested our own money, and this also means all decisions are mainly by us. And the people that we need, for example, for radio promotion or for online marketing, we can book them separately for the time or for the project phase where we need them, and we pay them, and that's all right. Yeah, it works pretty well.
This is good. And since we talk about the label, the record, I mean, you guys got lots of singles out already. And the latest two, one was released about 2 months ago called Reason, and the other one Eternally a month ago.
Right.
Man, tell me all about this, especially the last ones, like how was writing them. I mean, who does what? I mean, the band, who writes the lyrics, who writes the riffs, you know, and also I'm sure you have some funny stories about Eternally as well.
Yeah, Eternally is a very special case because I remember that Andreas, our singer, he one day he's also a songwriter writing for different artists, and he sent me a track where he said, I have a listen to this line, maybe we can, to this vocal line, maybe we can use it for something. And the song was electronic music. It was a house track. So I said, okay, no problem. I have a listen. Let's see, how is the vocal line? What is happening here and there? And I thought, okay, that's a really great hook. And I love the sound of the word eternally at the position and how it was sung. I said, okay, the song is still free. The hook line, it wasn't used from the electronic music that they made. So I took this little piece of melody and put this into an empty arrangement in my Logic. I work with Logic Pro. And then I started to build around it. I thought, okay, we're using maybe a different tempo. What kind of riff can I play there that supports the vocal line and that works in our genre, and that we have something that I really like in it, that it's heavy, but it still has the emotional aspect that was already there in the lyrics with Eternally. And yeah, it took me a while. It was the usual try and error in songwriting, you know, which was we shoot all 5 videos on one day, because this was the only way how we can handle the organization. Also for finding dates. Everybody of the band is very busy with his other projects and making music. We're all professional musicians, so we're all playing here and there and stuff. So it's not easy to find 5 dates, and then the video guy has to, and you need 5 locations. Everything is very complicated, and it's just a waste of time organizing. So we said, all right, we find one date, we find one location. We have a good team, we have a good director, we have a friend of us, Martin Heining. He's a really good show and light designer. And he said, all right, I can make you 5 different setups. I'll make a plan. We have 5 videos. I bring all sorts of lights and stuff, and each video will have a different light setup, so it will differentiate a bit. And we had Franz Schepers, the best photographer in the world, as I say. He was with us, and he took photos and everything. And yeah, we shot all the basic performance scenes in one day. It was really exhausting. We started in the morning and we finished, I think, at 10 in the evening. 5 songs. Each song, I think we recorded 9 takes. So I think we had 45 performances.
Man,
and every time you have to be really full power. So it was insane.
It is a lot. 5 songs
the drummer, one day. The drummer had bloody hands from his sticks and everything, and it was really exhausting. But we said, yeah, man, that's whatever it takes, we will do it. We give everything, and we did this. And then afterwards, when we had the performance scenes, we added some small additional scenes that we shot on ourselves, and the director just cut it in
and
but
put it together.
the main work we did in one day, and it was now when I think back to it, I think it was a good decision. It was really heavy, and it was I will never forget this, but otherwise we wouldn't have had a chance to make 5 videos and pay for it. It's just too expensive.
Man, it was a really great deal this director offered you guys.
Yeah,
of course, I mean, one day you have to like sweat your butt off.
Yeah,
but I mean, you guys got 5 videos, 5 products out, you know, perfect.
Yeah, it was a video shoot marathon. But you know, you have to rent the lights, you have to pay for the location, everything. You have to pay for the camera and so on. And it makes more sense to do this on one day. So yeah, I don't know for the next releases. I don't know if I think we will do it differently, but for the starting point, this was the right decision.
It was hard, but it was good at the end.
Yeah.
And Rupert, about gigs, did you guys do any gigs this year, or?
Well, we had 3 big gigs on our schedule during summer, but unfortunately we had to cancel all 3 because our singer, he got COVID twice, and for a special reason, nobody knows why. It was I don't have the medical words in my English vocabulary, but it affected his voice. Not only his voice, but also the nerves that go to the voice. So the voice wasn't where it should be. He couldn't hardly sing. Then he had to.
Man.
Then he was he couldn't talk for 2 weeks, and then now he can talk a bit better, but singing is still not working. We did some recordings for smaller things, and then he can record line by line and take a break, and then record another line. But at the moment we're not. He's not back at the level where we can play live, which of course it's a big bummer. You know,
it is.
With music, we want to go on stage, we want to play live, we want to connect with the fans, we want this emotional experience with the fans, right? It's something different, and you just put out the video on YouTube or on Spotify. People look at it at home and say, "Yeah, I like it," or "I don't like it."
Now I want to see.
But the experience. We do something together. We play, you party. We have a great evening together. This experience is now it's still missing.
And this was because of the Corona thing.
Yeah,
man,
it affected his voice. He's fine now, everything, but his voice is still affected. Sometimes that happens. Doctors said that's rarely, but sometimes it happens. Also, teachers or people who talk a lot also have sometimes these problems, and well, it's bad luck. What can you do?
True.
We have to sit it out. We have to wait. We have a great booking agency in Germany. Headline Concerts, they are very supportive, and as soon as Andreas is his
back
voice
on track,
back, then we will go out and play.
Oh man, I hope he comes back soon, because the videos are fantastic. I mean the songs are like really, you know, catchy, very into it, and as you're saying, like as soon as Andreas is back on track, you know, his voice is, you know, back, and the whole thing is he's, let's say, one piece, you know, healthy, one piece. And then any plans, or it's too early to talk about 2023 next year?
We have no live shows scheduled now. Because we agreed with the booking. Okay, let's wait until he can really say, by this time I'll be fit, I'll be ready to sing, because at the moment he can't really say, and we don't want to book shows now again, and then maybe we have to cancel it. We don't want to do this now, so we have to sit this out. We have some recordings still from summer, where we can keep working on, and we have some more songs left, so we have still music that has to be finished, or that can be finished, and also he's able to record piece by piece when we're taking breaks in between, so we can still make music. And
awesome.
But we have so much energy to give, and we have to go.
I can imagine, and I'm sure all of you guys miss the road.
Yeah,
being there, seeing a million faces every single day, and signing autographs, talking to people, and playing the music. People like, oh my gosh, I saw this. I heard this song on the radio, or I saw the video. Now I'm here. They're in front of me playing.
Yeah,
I'm sure you guys can wait for that, and I hope the thing happens soon.
Yeah, me too. And we will also make the live versions sometimes a little bit different when we were rehearsing and stuff. So we said, all right, our songs on the recordings, they are really on point. Everything is pretty short and compressed, and for live we said, okay, we can maybe in some pieces we can make it a little bit more breathe. So the song gets a little bit longer. You don't have to trim it exactly to the commercial format. You can give this a little bit more life, and we also want to do this then. So for some songs, the live versions will be a little bit different. Not much. The energy will be there exactly. It will sound a little bit rougher.
Nice.
And sometimes it will have a little bit more the live band feeling, of course.
Gotcha.
Hopefully next year, man.
I cross my finger for you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Rupert, my man, was a huge pleasure talking to you.
Pleasure's on my side. Thank you.
I know we have been trying to get this interview together for some time, but you're busy. I'm busy now. So it
is.
Sometimes you in Germany, sometimes I'm in the different places, in different countries. Everything is just. But finally, man, we got it, man. I'm honestly, huge pleasure interviewing you. And I hope to see you guys on the road. Next year, as soon as Andres is back.
I will let you know, man. I will let you know.
Awesome.